Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do something a little different, and I'm going to give you a reason why when we come back. Today we're going to take a look at the Viter Energy Mints. Alright, before we get into these are caffeinated mints, and I'm going to give you a little bit of information on why you may be interested in picking these up just as a prepper or survivalist. Now, caffeine's long been a part of a soldier's toolkit. I believe it was 1942 when Winston Churchill asserted that tea was more important to his soldiers than ammunition. And Coca-Cola's always given soldiers a physical and psychological boost, especially during World War II. And heck, in Vietnam, soldiers ate instant coffee to stay awake, from what I've been told. If anybody actually served in Vietnam, thank you for your service, and maybe you can make a comment if you ever did that. Sounds kind of nasty to me, but hey, you know what? Whatever keeps you awake. Now, why caffeine? All right, if you had some older MREs, you've probably seen those little white package that comes with the energy mints in them. I have a package of them. Actually, in my EDC bag, I have a couple, and for the reasons we'll get into later. And I have a couple packages of the actual white mints. The funny part is they're buried at the bottom of one of my bug out bags that's in my closet, and I'm not digging it out for a video because I just redid the bag. You guys saw that video a few days ago. But there's a reason for them. First of all, it gives you an energy boost. You're not always going to have time in an emergency, and you're also going to be sleep deprived in an emergency, but you're not always going to have time to stop and make a cup of coffee, or the store's not going to be open on the corner to get a 5-hour energy drink. So having something like these really comes in handy. That gives you a nice energy boost. And, the military did tons of studies on these. And they've proven that it gives you increased physical and cognitive performance as well as marksmanship. Now, I don't know about marksmanship. When I have too much coffee and I go to the range, I'm kind of all over the place. But we'll get into that too. This is a smaller dose of caffeine. It's not like 8 cups of coffee in the morning. It decreases accidents and it increased soldier performance. So, for a regular prepper, you can see the benefits of having some extra energy. So, what are Viter Energy Mints? Well, let me give you a look at them first. They've got 2 flavors here. And by the way, Viter was nice enough to send these to me for review. And you can see that's your average size of your mint. They are breath mints, and they all look the same. They're not different colors or anything for different flavors. So, and it comes in a nice little container. I'll tell you something right now. After I finish these, this container is definitely going to be used for something else. These are really neat containers. So, these are standard size breath mints. They come in multiple flavors with a touch of menthol for a strong kick. Now, one thing I did notice when I opened these up, they are really strong. And even Viter will tell you these are really strong flavored mints. So if you don't like super strong flavored mints, they're probably not something you're going to use every day. They're awfully strong. But I love strong mints, so I don't have a problem with it. One mint has roughly half the amount of caffeine in a standard 8-ounce cup of brewed coffee. And it has about, I think it was half the amount. I'm trying to remember what I read. Half the amount of a standard energy drink. So you're looking at, I believe it's 40 milligrams of caffeine in each one. Each mint weighs 900 milligrams. So each tin contains 20 mints. That's about 10 cups of coffee in each tin. And again, you're in a situation where, you might be bugging out or in an emergency or disaster. You may not have time to stop and have a nice cup of coffee and relax, And you also may be up for hours on end, If you ever stayed in an emergency shelter, you probably can't sleep very well. It's probably going to keep you awake, and then you got to get up the next morning and start doing other things. So, this kind of stuff really comes in handy. So, the absorption is sublingual on these. And I'm going to take one of these now, and I'm going to tell you, we're going to come back in a couple hours, couple of minutes, see when it takes effect. I haven't had any caffeine this morning. I didn't have my normal cup of coffee this morning. So we're going to try these out and see how they work. And I like what are these? These are the, oh sure, don't tell me the flavor. Spearmint flavor. I just can't read. We're going to try the spearmint flavor. You just kind of eat it and let it dissolve. So instead of going into your stomach and causing that irritation that sometimes caffeine supplements can, these just sit in your mouth and dissolve. So I'm going to let this dissolve in my mouth and then come back and talk to you so I don't sound like I have a bunch of marbles in my mouth. All right, ate it. It's dissolved. It's been about 15 minutes, I can kind of feel a little energy from them. I don't know if that's just the mint in my mouth because it's really strong. They're very good, and they're soft too. They're not hard mints. They're not like, a Tic Tac that's hard to chew on. You can chew these, and they're very soft. So when you're eating a mint, again, it dissolves in your mouth. It gets into your bloodstream a little bit quicker. We'll see if I'm talking any faster now that I've eaten this. And it's a little bit better for your stomach if you're kind of one of those people that if you have your morning cup of caffeine and your morning cup of coffee, and you don't eat something with it, you might get a sick stomach. These don't do that. They just go straight into your bloodstream. Now, depending on your caffeine tolerance, most people eat one to three. I would probably stick with two as a new user of these. I just had one, and to be honest with you, after about 10-15 minutes, I really feel a little bit more energized. Again, that's probably because my body is crying out for caffeine because I haven't had any. So, why 40 milligrams of caffeine per mint? Well, Viter Energy looked up how much caffeine do you really need for optimal performance. Again, we're not looking to get you wired, they're looking to get you awake, So they did a lot of research on the optimal amount of caffeine, and they came up with two things in mind. It had to give you energy, and it had to taste good. Now, if you've ever had some of the caffeine gum, you'll notice it loses its taste very quickly, and it feels like you're chewing on, like chewing tobacco. It's kind of nasty after a while. But with these, they taste good, so you can pop one in your mouth, you can let it dissolve, you can chew it a little bit, and you're good to go. So it's tough to do that because caffeine's naturally bitter. If you ever tried the military gum, I think they're in the first strike rations. If you've ever tried that, you know how bitter it is after the flavor and the minty flavor of the gum wears off. So that's why they made the mints, and they do taste pretty good. We're going to come back in about, whenever I feel a little more energized, and we'll see how long this lasts. I'll tell you how long that one mint can carry me. I do shoot multiple videos in a day, so as I'm shooting videos today, we're going to go through and I'm going to let you know how it's doing. So anyway, those are Viter Energy mints. They're about $4.99 per pack, $19.99 for a 6-pack of mints. Now that's on their site. I will check to see if, I will put a link to their site there, and I will check to see if these are on Amazon as well. And if they are, I'll add them to my store. But we're going to come back in a little bit, and I'll tell you how I'm feeling. So it's been about 45 minutes. I actually programmed a new scanner that I picked up a while back for $10. It's just an analog scanner that I'm going to heap in here to listen to all the different ham bands. And I definitely feel it. It's definitely like you just had your first cup of coffee in the morning. They seem to work well. I'm going to get my wife to try one too because she's one of those people that if she just drinks straight, strong coffee on an empty stomach, it'll make her feel sick. So we're definitely going to get her to try it. But I definitely feel it. About 45 minutes in, I've programmed that scanner. Oh, hold on. It's this old guy over here. And I picked it up for $10. So I put in the local ham frequency so I can listen to it because it's not a digital, so it won't work with our local police. But I definitely feel the energy, and it's kind of nice. It's a mellow kind of energy from it. It's not like you've drank 8 cups of coffee and you're all jittery. So anyway, these are the Viter Energy mints. I'm sorry, I didn't have them high enough. And you can check them out. I will put a link to their site down below. They definitely seem to be a good choice. I'm probably gonna put one of these in one of my bug out bags, my larger one, because you got something like this, and especially during when you're sleep deprived. I know when I get sleep deprived, I get slap happy and forgetful and messy, and I forget things. And so for me, something like this is really, really handy. You go on, look at disasters where there's floods and fires and stuff. People are running for hours on end. They're trying to stay awake. You may have to stay awake and, guard your property, if there's some kind of civil unrest like the LA riots or something. So you got to think about that, and you got to think about ways to keep yourself awake without ODing on Vivarin or No-Dose or whatever, or drinking too much coffee. And this will definitely do the job. So that's them. As I said, I'll put a link down below. Don't forget to check out our Amazon store down below. Just click the link. You don't have to buy anything in the store. Once you click the link, you can do your regular Amazon shopping. Doesn't cost you a penny more to do it that way. And it helps us bring you cool content for the channel. I get a little bit off that, and I'm able to purchase more gear to review. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link. If you check back tomorrow, I have a big Thrive video coming. I got in my order, and I used some grocery points, so I got a lot of extra stuff. So don't forget to check out that Thrive Life link and check out that freeze-dried food that we offer. Definitely good stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.